YouTube! So, I was at work when the Pokemon Direct video had dropped, so I didn't get a chance to watch it when it first appeared. So I wasn't on the hype train of people releasing it and recording themselves watching it, so I do apologize for that. But my friend who was at home at the time sent me text messages while I was at work and basically gave me the gist of every critical detail that I needed to know. And I told him to be vague about it because I wanted to speculate on what it is that he could have possibly have meant. Now that I've actually had time to sit down and watch it, let me just say and try to put this in perspective for everybody, because I want it to be made perfectly clear that I understand wholeheartedly what Game Freak and Pokemon is trying to do by innovating, and they're trying to innovate new ideas into Pokemon, because since the very beginning, the formula for Pokemon has always been the exact same. You start off in a town, you have no father, or you never see your father. I think Gen 3 is the only time when you actually had interactions with your dad. So you're in a town, you have no contact with your father, you get your start of the 3 Pokemon because your professor is stupid and gets cornered by some random Pokemon out in the wild. Why he went out with no Pokemon, I don't know, even though he tells you not to do that yourself. But hey, to each their own. You pick your 3, your rival always gets the opposite of yours. You go out, you get your gym badges, go through some maze tunnel, Elite 4, you battle your rival one more time before you get in there. You go in, you fight all the Elite 4, you fight the champion, you struggle down to your last citrus berry and 1 max revive, and hope for the best, and then the game's over. And that has literally been the formula since the very beginning. So I understand that they want to integrate new things into the game for it to be fresh, and it feels though, as they're not just repackaging, reselling, and giving us out the same thing. I applaud them for that. But let's go down the list of what it is that they have integrated since X and Y when we first started this. Mega Evolutions, to much of everybody's surprise, was hated when we first saw it. We were like, yo, what is this? It's too much going on. Why does this? It gives you a very Digimon feel. And I know I put this in my very first, well, I put this in my Armored Evolution Theory video, which turned out to be false. All the rumored videos turned out to be false. Actually, no, it's false. There's no way they're going to do Armored Evolution and Dynamaxing in the same game. I refuse. Maybe Armored Evolution's for the next generation of Pokemon, when they try to do something different. Armored Evolution might be down the road, but honestly, like I said in that video, which I'll have it linked in the description, was completely stupid and had absolutely no reason for Armored Evolution, because you have Mega Evolutions that are just defensively oriented. I mean, that's just what it is. So you have Mega Evolutions in Pokemon X and Y. You had Z moves in Pokemon Sun and Moon, which is just add a 5th move slot. And now you have Dynamaxing with Generation 8. I don't even know where to begin, because you're just making them bigger. It's really unnecessary. Like, Mega Evolution, okay, it's a whole different form. It's a different stage of evolution. Cool, that's good. That's innovation. You're showing creativity because it's almost a completely different Pokemon. But the problem with Mega Evolution and Mega Evolving your Pokemon was the fact that once you now have a Mega Evolved Pokemon, it literally breaks the entire game, because to a certain degree, almost normal Pokemon stand no chance against Mega Evolution. You're talking about a 100-point stat boost to their base stats, which is insane, right? It almost makes any Pokemon who has a Mega Evolution a pseudo legendary. Almost. I say that almost. Z moves, like I said, just add a 5th move slot, and now we're at Dynamaxing. It's just like, yo, you're just making them bigger and unnecessary. And they kind of try to fix that with Mega Evolutions by just increasing their size and not actually giving them a physical evolution change. And it only lasts for 3 turns. So it really does feel like Digimon now, because the whole lore of Digimon was they don't stay in that permanent size the entire time. They have to revert back to their, fucking chibi forms. And if it's not that, then look, they look like fucking Megazords from Power Rangers. And I don't mean to harp on this game so much, because this is just one factor in an amazing game. You see what I'm saying? Like, this game looks beautiful. The animation, the style of art, the fact that it's open world. I think that was in I don't think I know. I talked about that in my in my rumored video. Which hey, look, ayo, shout out to Game Freak for listening to me. You made that last minute change. You saw my video. I tip my hat to you, y'all in the Pokemon Company. They made it open world, something that we really did not think that they were going to do. And granted, it is only going to be in the wild areas, but that's still better than nothing. That free roam aspect, that walk around. It's honestly a very good feel to have in a Pokemon game that you can even control the camera angles. It looks absolutely spectacular, right? And because of that, I overlooked the Dynamax Pokemon because I mean, really, and it's at this point, even with Mega Evolutions, it's at a point to where the only way to combat it is to then Dynamax your Pokemon. Like you can't go like it, from the looks of it, you can't go up against a Dynamax Pokemon without your Pokemon also being Dynamax. Same thing with Mega Evolution. But it was a little bit different. I mean, you could always have a hard counter to a Mega Evolution, but really a Mega Evolution versus a Mega Evolution is what your best bet is. Also, I would like to point out and I would like to appreciate the fact that they're incorporating Dynamaxing early on. It looks like that's going to be your first gym leader. And if you remember in Pokemon X and Y, I don't actually think there was a gym leader that used Mega Evolution. I think the only person, and it's been a while since I played, I think the only person who used Mega Evolution was the champion, and that was it. So Mega Evolutions literally played no part in the story mode of X and Y, but here they saw the error in their ways for X and Y, and they said for Pokemon Sword and Shield, we are going to incorporate Dynamaxing in every aspect of the game, which I do appreciate. That they're going to incorporate that. I do appreciate the fact that they're trying to innovate, and I do appreciate that, you know, they are actively trying to improve their games. Who knows what they'll finally decide on later on, but for right now, I do appreciate what they're trying to do. They made it open world. They included another form of transformation in terms of Dynamaxing. What does that mean for Z moves and Mega Evolutions? I have no idea. Mega Evolutions were in Sun and Moon, but in terms of what they're going to do because this is the first Pokemon on the Switch, so I have no idea if they're going to be able to link your old games like from your 3DS, right? X and Y, Omega Ruby, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon. I have no idea if you're going to be able to move over not only your your Pokemon, but also the stones. You see what I'm saying? Is the Alola forms going to be viable? Are there going to be Z moves? You see what I'm saying? Are they just throwing those away? Like I would prefer you not to throw them away. But we're going to see about that. So let's move on to the Pokemon that we saw, right? I'm not going to spend too much time on it because, I mean, honestly, they're all solid designs. I have nothing bad to say about any of these Pokemon. Not even going to try to pronounce their names. We're just going to throw the pictures up on the screen. Boom, 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 right there. For a second, if you saw my video that I put out about the fake Pokédex leak, it is not the real Pokédex. I mean, but I think everybody knew that. I knew that. I said it in the video. That doesn't change the fact that there is potential that some of these typings may still be in the game. You see what I'm saying? Different names. We know Pokemon names change literally up until the last day, like, you know what I'm saying, of production. So the names may have changed, but the typings may seem real, right? Because this flowering Pokemon, throw their picture right back up. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. I'm not. But I went on a rant about a specific typing, a specific typing of fairy type. It was poison and fairy. Now, this little bugger looks like a poison type. It's a flower. Flowers are poisonous. And even when it evolves, picture now, its description was something along the lines of those little dots on its back are spores. And spores are generally poisonous. So assuming that this is a poison type, this may very well be a poison fairy Pokemon. That's like what I said. The typings may be real down the road. We might actually see a fire grass Pokemon somewhere along the lines, a poison fairy somewhere along the line, a fire steel. Well, I mean, we're already going to see a fire. Well, actually, no, because the Pokedex was fake. So it might not be a fire steel starter. Who knows? Anyway, I think we should start to anticipate seeing typings of types that contradict each other and have weaknesses in and of itself. You know what I mean? Because unless they add like another category, like how they added dark and steel and fairy typing, if you really think about it, those are the only three typings they have added over the 20 plus years that Pokemon has been a thing. If they have a dark type, it makes sense that they should eventually incorporate a light type. So we know the champion's Leon. A suave, dapper man himself, his younger brother Hop, Hopefully he's just not hot-headed and just out on a vendetta to beat his brother. Hopefully, he's actually a rival. But, considering what happened to the days of your rival hating you, right? What happened to those days, right? Because when you was playing Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, Gary or whoever or Blue hated you. There was nothing. He had nothing nice to say about you when he ran into you. At all. It was roughly around Gen 3, kind of when you saw that they were friendly. But May or whoever you chose to be a rival in Gen 3 wasn't necessarily friendly. It was spirited competition. But after that, Gen 4, Gen 5 on, they have just been friendly and cheerful and very encouraging to you. After you just beat them, there was no sense of competition with those rivalries. And I really hope Hop is the opposite. I want you to insult me if I lose to you, okay? Be insulting. And on top of that, back in the day, Lord, do y'all remember, if you're an old head Pokemon player, it was damn near impossible to be over leveled for your rival, unless it's like your second or third time playing through. That first time playing through, look, let me tell you, I go up against my rivals like, why is my rival 13 levels higher than me? What happened? You know your rival is a difficult person when you have to use like X attacks and X speeds and X defenses just to try to get an up on this man. But I don't want to harp too long on that. We have another female professor. Okay, we have another female professor. Absolutely love it. She looks like a cougar. You know what I'm saying? Look, her skin looked pretty smooth to be her age. I mean, they say black don't crack, but I don't know. Look, TV will put on 10 pounds, but look, hey, you're thick with 2 C's. We got Professor Magnolia. New York, I'm really rock. I'm gonna stop. We got in her daughter with the glasses. I don't know why people always wear the glasses on top of their head and never actually put them on, But we got her assistant, who also probably is going to be heavily involved with you during the game. Sonia. No Mortal Kombat. That's pretty much who we get to know. We also get to know the gym leader, but I didn't really care about him. I mean, God Lord, he looks like Boss Baby grown up. It's just like, why do you have an infant's face, but you built like Arnold Schwarzenegger? And the last thing I want to talk about in this video is the legendary wolves. We've already had a legendary lion. We've had the legendary trio dogs, right? Suicune, Raikou, and Entei. And now we got the wolves. I have never been so disappointed before in legendary Pokemons until right now. My God. This man has a shield for a maim. And the other wolf has like a built-in sword in its mouth. And like, look, these are one of the vague facts that my friend has sent me. Because he was like, shield, maim, sword, mouth. So when he said that at work, I was like, no. I got really mad. I was like, don't tell me that this legendary Pokemon has like a sword tongue. Like, that's gonna piss me off. But now looking back at it, I would have preferred this, because like, look, I don't think the other wolf can take its maim off, but it seems as though the wolf with the sword can drop the sword out of its mouth. So you have one who has to suffer as a shield maim, but this one can freely drop its sword and eat appropriately. Like, how do you eat, right? If you can't. But this does, and this was mentioned in another video, but this is the first duo legendary Pokemon that aren't rivals. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm trying to think. Go through all my generations. Yeah, this is the first generation of legendary Pokemon. The 2 main mascots that are not rivals. When the video that you saw, it seemed as though they were gearing up to fight something else. Like there was a breeze. So my personal opinion, these are your 2 mascots, but there's going to be an opposing force. Like the third, you know what I'm saying? There's always been a third, Kyogre, Groudon, then you have your third, Rayquaza. Palkia, Dialga, your third is Giratina, right? But nonetheless, these are 2 main mascots that are basically brothers, it seems like, and they're fighting very early on in the generation, the third Pokemon that is serves as the opposing force. But good lord, I don't know why I didn't talk about this sooner, y'all. Y'all gotta get me. I'm slipping. Open world, absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Um, I thought this was absolutely funny. In the video, I did see the video. When I finally saw the video, and then I'll wrap this video. When I saw this video, I was like, and they were showing the open world. There's a scene where this girl is shaking a tree with her bare hands, and I'm like, it has nothing to do with the fact she's a girl. She's shaking a tree. I'm like, who is just out here baby shaking trees to get some berries? Like, this is not a bush. This is a full-on tree, okay? She is vastly shorter than this thing, and she is manhandling this tree, just shaking like a newborn baby. And berries are falling. It's just casual things. Like, apparently she's just been doing her chin-ups, right? She's been training with a Machamp. But that is all I have for y'all today. Whether or not you're like, Hugo, you think way too deep on some of these things, and it shows, okay? This game is going to be amazing. This game is going to be phenomenal. Dynamaxing is exactly what the franchise needs. Then, that's you. Or whether you're like me, Hugo, I'm with you 100%. Dynamaxing is unnecessary, but it's welcomed because I understand what it is that they are trying to do within the franchise. But I mean, my God, literally, they're just pushing steroids into these things. They're just jacking them up 200 times their normal size, and they have resorted to Hadouken lasers within the franchise. But that, like I said, that is all I have for y'all today. Leave down in the comment section what you're looking most forward to out of this game. All right? What you're looking most forward to. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a like. Share the video. And like always, keep it safe, wrap it tight. I'm out.